Peymon who?
Matahede.
Peymon Latahede. Who is he?
Never paid taxes for 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government. Hello to my truth and freedom-seeking friends. I'm Peymon Motahede, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. And for over 30 years, I have not filed and paid any federal income or payroll taxes, and been teaching Americans like you to do the same legally and safely. Our website is freedomlawschool.org. Go there to educate yourself to start being free and not a slave anymore. There it is, freedomlawschool.org. It's there to help you start living a free life now. In this presentation, I will cover the topic of the Corporate Transparency Act, CTA. It's a law passed by Congress that the regulations for it became final and started getting implemented in the January of 2024, which requires that if you have a corporation or limited liability company that's created in one of the American states or territories, that you must report to the federal government who are the actual owners of that corporation or limited liability company or LLC. Beneficial, owner information, BOI is what they call it. Well, it just got blocked by a federal district court on December 3rd, 2024. Let's look at this good news. Here it is. Forbes just came out, talks about it. Court blocks Corporate Transparency Act, a win for federalism. In other words, you do not have to go give your private ownership information to that distant empire in Washington, D.C. No, you don't, my friends. And to read a little bit more on the article, it is a nationwide injunction. It's a preliminary injunction, which means stop. Federal government, you cannot enforce this law anywhere in America. The court explicitly determined that the preliminary injunction applies nationwide. Judge Mazant noted that both the Corporate Transparency Act and the reporting rule impact approximately 32.6 million businesses across the United States. And because one of the plaintiffs, the National Federation of Independent Business, NFIB, represent members nationwide, the court concluded that a nationwide injunction was necessary to provide meaningful relief and address the extensive constitutional violations identified. So it applies everywhere. You don't have to now file that report, beneficial owner information, with the FinCEN. Of course, all this is done in the name of protecting us from terrorists, drug dealers, those bad guys. Yeah, we're going to catch those guys. So all of you, we're going to take your privacy away just to catch a few of those terrorists and really terrible people, right? Well, World Net Daily, again, calls it the deep state loses in court, Orwellian law stopped. Again, you can check these things out. It came out just today, how you don't have to report your personal information to the federal government before January 1st, 2025. So let's go now look at the actual district court case. which is filed, as you see on top, December 3rd, 2024, in United States District Court, Eastern District of Texas. Okay? Texas Cop Shop, Inc., and other parties against Merrick Garland, Attorney General of the United States, and other related parties. Okay? Judge Mazans. Here's some of the interesting parts of this memorandum, opinion, and order. Okay? Plaintiffs seek to enjoin or stop the government from enforcing the Corporate Transparency Act and its implementing regulation. Okay? Having considered the motion, the arguments of counsel, and the applicable law, the court concludes that the motion should be granted. In the beginning it says it, and it says it also at the end. Okay? And here's a little interesting language, okay, about this. The court says that this act represents a federal attempt to monitor companies created under state law, a matter our federalist system has left almost exclusively to the several states. Okay? Second, the CTA ends a feature of corporate formation as designed by various states, anonymity. That's right. See? States give you your particular right to privacy. Federal government takes it away. No. They cannot do that. Now, let's take a look at the Corporate Transparency Act itself. What does it says? It's in Title 31, Money and Finance. This is at uscode.house.gov. Okay, the official legal website of the Congress. Okay, beneficial ownership information reporting requirements. Okay, now here we go. So when you look at this thing, they have a bunch of definitions, and the law is a very, very long. Defines so many specific things in detailed minutia. You keep going on and on and on, and you don't even get to the relevant part about reporting. They're just defining who the law applies to, who does not apply to. Very detailed. Well, I'm going to jump through the relevant part for you, okay? Here we go. We go down to the beneficial ownership information reporting in accordance with regulations prescribed by the Secretary of the Treasury. Each reporting company shall submit to FinCEN a report that contains the information described in paragraph 2, okay, about the, these entities, all that stuff. So this is gone, but let me tell you something bigger even than the Corporate Transparency Act. Look at this, okay? Just above this part, okay, the term United States person is defined. This applies obviously to United States persons. The term United States person has a meaning given the term in section 7701A of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986. What is the section 7701A of the Internal Revenue Code? We got to look it up. Well, guess what, guys? I have a copy of the Internal Revenue Code right here. That's right, in my hot little hands. This is the Bible of the IRS. About 10,000 pages of minutia, tiny font on tissue-thin, hard-read gobbledygook, meant to confuse you. And definitions are not in the front, they're hitting at the back. 7,701. Let's see what it says now online on U.S. government's official legal website, okay? We're going to go now and look at it, okay? Here it is, Title 26, Internal Revenue Code, the section 7701 that it talks about. We're going to go to it right now. This is going to be fantastic for you, okay? Definitions. When used in this title, what title they're talking about? Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code. Okay? Same thing I have in my hand. It's now you see it online in front of you at uscode.house.gov. Okay? They define a lot of different things, but the term United States person. Well, to get the United States person, we have to define United States first. We'll get there. Okay? So, and then you see, whoa, CTA never applied to any of you in the 50 states to begin with. Okay? Here it is. United States and state are both defined. Let's look at state first. The term state shall be construed to include none of the 50 states are listed, but the District of Columbia is. Yep. Not New York, California, Texas, none of them are there. And how about United States? The term United States, when used in a geographical sense, you would think includes the 50 states, but no, it includes all of the states, which now we can see includes only the District of Columbia and the District of Columbia again. None of the 50 states are listed. Not Iowa, not Nebraska, not Oregon. Only D.C., which is not even a state, is listed in there. So, now when you go to United States person, I know you're thinking the 50 states are implied. I'll get to that in just a minute. It's not. Okay, but let's go look at now United States person. So we have to scroll down, folks, to see United States person is also specially defined based upon the term United States, what it means. Okay, here we go. United States person means a citizen or resident of the United States, which is District of Columbia. A domestic partnership within United States, which is District of Columbia. A domestic corporation, which is domestic with the United States, which is within District of Columbia. Okay, and all this stuff also having to do with DC about trusts. Now, I know you're thinking, Peymon, you all wet. That's all the 50 states United States person means. Okay, everybody knows you're thinking that state, the United States, mean clearly, obviously, the 50 states. Everybody knows that. Come on, Peymon. Well, let's see what the U.S. Supreme Court says about that. You accept them? Let's go see what the U.S. Supreme Court says, okay? Here it is. Stenberg versus Carhart, okay? A year 2000 U.S. Supreme Court case tells us when a statute or law includes an explicit definition, like the ones you just saw, we must follow that definition, even if it varies from that term's ordinary meaning. That's right. The ordinary meaning of the term United States, 50 states, is not there. We have explicit definition that only includes District of Columbia, which is even not a state. And furthermore, the court adds that it is axiomatic, which means self-evident, obvious, that the statutory definition of the term excludes unstated meanings of that term. Again, the 50 states are not listed. They're excluded from states and United States definition, therefore they're not there. United States, therefore, it only means District of Columbia. United States person means only DC people. Again, for kicks, let's look at this Gould versus Gould case. In 1917, unanimous U.S. Supreme Court tax case, okay? And here's what the court says with very strong, confident language, the conclusion holding of the court in the interpretation or understanding of statutes, laws, levying or imposing taxes. It is the established rule not to extend their provisions, provisional tax laws, by implication, by implying beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge their operations of the tax laws so as to embrace or include matters not specifically pointed out. If something is not specifically pointed out, like the 50 states, in the definition of the United States, it is not there. And in case of doubt, the tax laws are construed or interpreted most strongly against the government's power to tax and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. You can't get any stronger than most strongly against the government, can you? So, looking back at this now, we see what? United States person, it means someone from Washington, D.C. person. So going back to the Corporate Transparency Act, guess what? Look at this thing, okay? In the first place, it applied to United States persons who are only District of Columbia people, not the people of the 50 states. And you know what? Nobody argued this before the court. It's right there. But no one likes to talk about the big pink elephant in the corner of the room, except Freedom Law School for you. Now, this has very important implications for you and your freedoms, far bigger than the Corporate Transparency Act. Why? Well, I'll show you why. It applies to taxes, to income taxes. Most of you fill out this 1040 U.S. individual income tax return every April 15 or by October 15 by extension. And you think, oh, U.S. individual? That's me. That's my TurboTax, HR Block, my bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, tax attorney has me fill out this return because I'm a U.S. individual. Wrong. Not for tax purposes. As I've just showed you, you're not a U.S. individual, United States person on the federal tax law. You just saw that. Okay? So when you go to filing requirements instructions, 1048 instruction book for the IRS, it tells us that these rules apply to all U.S. citizens. IRS is correct here. But again, you are not a U.S. citizen as defined in tax laws. It's how you define it. People, I'm 100% for life-saving, gender-affirming care, the way you and I define it. Now those Satanists who call chemical and physical mutilation and castration of people, they call that gender-affirming care. It's how you define things. You see it right there, plain in front of your eye, as unbelievable it is. You are just right now stepping out of the matrix of lies. You see the matrix for yourself, okay? So you look at the tax laws. Tax on individuals is titled. This is Code of Federal Regulations, okay? Title 26, Code of Federal Regulations, okay? And it talks about Part 1.1-1, income tax on individuals, right? It says Section 1 of the code imposes an income tax on income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. But this United States, again, is not the 50 states. This United States is what? Someone from District of Columbia. Here it goes. To refresh you on this issue, there it is. United States and states only include the District of Columbia, not the 50 states that they want you to believe. Okay? They deceive you by hiding the truth in plain sight. Hidden this mosaic, huge mosaic of all the laws that are so voluminous and confusing and hidden right in the middle of the end of this book. So you never look it up and discover how you've been deceived. Okay? So here we are now. You understand the limitations of the government's power. You see, America is not a country. In 1776, we had 13 independent countries, states, with a population of 2.5 million. That's right. 13 colonies became 13 countries and states. And these new countries, okay, what happened? In 1789, created an agent government headquartered in Washington, D.C., to be known as the U.S. government. And they delegated 18 specific common functions to this agent, the U.S. government. Okay, these powers included common defense, common foreign relations, currency, immigration rules, commerce between and foreign countries, and a few more specific powers. And the countries give all other functions and powers to themselves. And the founding fathers of America wrote the Constitution in a way that you will not be a slave of the agent in Washington, D.C. Now, I don't have time to get into that issue right now. That's on part of our videos at freedomlawschool.org that you see for yourself. That gives you in more detailed explanation. But again, what I want to tell you is this. The federal government was given in this land, the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., all the powers to be independent of the states in their land so that it would not be put under the pressure of any one state. That's right. They were afraid, the founding fathers, if they made the federal government headquartered in Pennsylvania or New York, one of the states back then those states could have put a thumb on this very new, weak government. For that reason, they gave it its own little land, 10 miles square of swampland Maryland and territory gave, and said, do whatever you want in land to protect us from England, try to take us back. And again, let me remind you, the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution says that the power is not delegated by the states, by the countries in this union, to the United States government by the Constitution, nor prohibited by the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. Folks, we're not taught this in the public school system. I didn't know this stuff. When I went to California State University, I took business. I had 2 business law classes. And these fundamental basics were not taught to me in high school, in the public school system, nor in the universities. So don't be surprised that you were not told about this either. We all were raised deliberately ignorant. So to free yourself, folks, all you got to do is to go to freedomlawschool.org and go take our 7 steps, follow the law, and discover for yourself. Verify for yourself, folks. Very important basic things that based on the official legal websites of the U.S. government, no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income taxes. Start with this 9-minute video and start your journey to the free of virus deception. With that deception now, they scare you, and with that fear, they rob you and make you a slave. No more. You will be free. This 9-minute video is followed by 4 other short videos that are between 5 to 10 minutes long. And below them is the complete versions of these 5 videos, okay? They're about half hour each. Then you go down to those 7 steps. You learn why you need to stop filing income tax returns, why you need to stop putting the rope around your neck with filling out those 1040 forms. That's why you end up doing it to yourself, giving the IRS the power to rape you, because you tell them that you owe the money when you fill out that form. You also discover what IRS operates on: deception and bluff. They're the real Wizard of Oz, and you, Dorothy, and your friends do not need to be afraid of the IRS, because I'm not afraid of them. You're going to deprogram yourself, de-brainwash yourself of the lies that you were told all your life, that you have to be a slave of the IRS. Then they're going to, that you believe, I know you believe, oh, if I don't file, I'll go to prison. I'll be a martyr. I don't want to go to jail. They take my bank account, paycheck, everything I own. Oh no, I'll listen to my CPA, my tax attorney. These guys tell me to be safe. Be sure to file my tax returns. I'll do that, yeah, because the expert knows the law when he doesn't. Your accountant, CPA attorney is clearly ignorant when he deceives you to file a tax return and put the rope around your neck and makes money off of your slavery. Okay? So let's continue. And then, to folks, step 4 is you can take courage from Freedom Law School's victories. That's right. Myth of the IRS. All your life you were brainwashed to believe in the matrix and the reality of this lizard that has no firepower when you stop filing those 10-4 income tax confession form. And for over 20 years, I've done this. Over 20 years, I help people legally, safely stop filing and paying income tax like I want to help you. And guess what? No student of Freedom Law School has ever gone to prison for federal taxes, nor had their paycheck or bank account levied or home or business seized by the IRS. So why do you need to be afraid? You don't, brothers and sisters, okay? And you can stop being a slave of the beast. Be afraid to worship the beast. It's really Satan. It's really slavery, IRS, okay? It's all slavish, satanic deception they've done on you, brothers and sisters, okay? So, question authority. Write your Congress members. We have free petitions on our website that spell out the law, that you're not required to file income tax. You send them to congressman, and you file income taxes only if your congressman can show you the law that requires you to file and pay income taxes. They can never show you the law that requires you in the 50 states to file income taxes, so you don't. Like me and scores of others, I've helped out to be free and not slave of the IRS. I don't care if you work at Walmart or McDonald's minimum wage employee or you're a big super billionaire. You're in the same category. You all will be free if you free your mind. Like you see in the movie Matrix, free your mind, right? Can you do that? Okay? So all this is for free. Brothers and sisters, you can and should do it at freedomlawschool.org. However, if few of you are really freedom-minded, like me, want to take back America, take back our country, we want our children and our grandchildren to be living a free life, for those of you with guts and glory in your mind and heart, I got great news. Okay? We have a Restore Freedom plan you can join if you have the spirit of the founding fathers like this in your heart and mind. Okay? And you could enjoy our 100% guarantee when you legally stop filing and paying income taxes. As long as you're a member of a Restore Freedom plan, Freedom Law School will prevent the IRS from levying your money, or Freedom Law School will reimburse you in full. Whatever the IRS takes from you, we give it to you. You have nothing to lose, and you will not go to prison. And either way, whether you join the Restore Freedom plan or not, do this, brothers and sisters. Love people around you and spread the truth. Your family members, friends, co-workers, tell them, be the modern day Paul Revere, and tell them the truth, arm them with the law. And this way, we can have America and our families and American people be free, restore freedom. Together, we can make it happen, and we even pay you for telling others about Freedom Law School. Here it is. Call us. We'll give you our brochures, Restore Freedom brochures, for free. We mail it to you. Why no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income taxes. And the 7 steps I just told you, it's all in there. Text freedomlawschool.org to your friends. Email them. Post it on social media. Take it to your work. Pass it to your coworkers, to your boss, to your company owner, right? You don't have to be a slave. You can be free. How exciting is that? Do you want to be free? Well, you can. It's there for you just to grasp it. Just do it at freedomlawschool.org. Thank you for listening to me. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and on your drive to and from work, put your smartphone up, and as you drive, look at the road safely, listen, and learn these empowering truths. And when you get to lunch at work or home for dinner, then you put up your smartphone, watch the videos, and listen to verify that everything you've seen is the U.S. government's own official legal websites and reports and documents. So with that, brothers and sisters, I love you. I want you to live free. Let's have a good time, celebrate, have joy and laughter and prosperity for all of us. Live and let live, and love and let love. That's always been my motto since I was a little child. But I cannot do that for you. You must choose freedom. People suffer for ignorance, for lack of knowledge. And the solution is to seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The key word is you must seek the truth. freedomlawschool.org paves the way for you. So hopefully you'll do that for yourself. Share with everybody we know around you, and have America be a free country once again together in love, peace, joy, and prosperity.